Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sir Oscar Duma. My name is John Amparo from 4th year BS English. So my topic is about West Asian literature, and the objective of this presentation is to first explain the background and history of West Asian literature. Second is to enumerate the writers of West Asian literature. So like everyone does before they start their report, I also have here my icebreaker.
Wherein you have to guess the word as logo flashes on the screen. Okay, and let's proceed to another one.
And as you can see, flashes on the screen is the West Asian map. West Asian map occupies the countries Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Kingdom of Bahrain, Iran, State of Qatar, Oman, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. Let's proceed to the history of West Asian literature. Western literature is one of the oldest literature in Asia. Western Asians are distinctive first known civilization to man. Western Asians' notable pieces are the first human form statues Islamic and modern. Western Asia is the source of many myths and legends. Each country has its favorite stories that have become integral to the literary culture of each nation. And let's talk about the background of West Asian literature. So artists of Western Asia are heirs to the first civilization known to man, and their landscape is rich with examples of art, from the first human form statues to Islamic and modern art. And also West Asian literature includes Persian literature, Arabian literature, Jewish literature, Turkish literature. So what is Persian literature? Persian literature is a jewel in the crown of Persian culture. Poetry is a very important part of Persian culture. Poetry is used in many Persian classical works, whether from literature, science, or metaphysics. Persian poetry is always rhyme. Persian cultivated four unique types of poetry: Qasidi, Masnavi, Ghazal, and Rubai, which means epic. And the second one is Arabic literature. Arabic literature, literary works written in the Arabic language, from the word Arabic. The first significant Arabic literature was produced during the medieval golden age of lyric poetry, from the 4th to the 7th century. The poems are strongly personal qasida or odest, often very short, with some longer than 100 lines. Common themes are love, fighting, courage, and the chase. The poet speaks directly, not romantically, of nature and the power of God. The third one is the Jewish literature. Includes work written by Jews and Jewish themes, literary works written in Jewish language on various themes, and literature works in any language written by Jewish writers. It's also include the biblical literature and rabbinic literature. Medieval Jewish literature includes not only rabbinic literature but also ethical literature, philosophical literature, mythical, various other forms of prose including history and fiction, and the various forms of poetry of both religious and secular varieties. The production of Jewish literature has flowered with the modern emergence of this secular Jewish culture. And the Turkish literature. Turkish literature was influenced by the Western literature. change in the economic political life. Turkish literature was influenced by the Western literature. Change in the economic and political life reflects in the literature that the time the quest for change continued until the proclamation of the Republic. The distinguishing characteristic of the era of the literature was concerned with the intellectual content rather than the aesthetic value. And now that we are done with the history of Eastern Asian literature, let us now talk about or tackle the the writers of the West Asian literature. First we have Nazim Hikmet, romantic communist, themes on everyday people of Turkey.
Tanpınar is also a member of the Turkish parliament between 1944 and 1946. Another one is Yosef I. Mohammed. Yosef I. Mohammed is a Saudi Arabian writer and journalist who has published several novels and short story collections in Arabic and has been translated into Russian, Italian, Spanish, and German. Abdukal is the author of several works, including a dialogue at the Gates Heaven, There's Nothing to Be Happy About, and Cetus Eating the Grass. Next is Abraham B. Shusha, who was an Israeli novelist, essayist, and playwright. The New York Times called him Israel Folkneer. And also we have Fadiad Fakir. She is a Jordanian British author and academician involved in human rights issues content. And also Khalil Gibran. He's best known for author of The Prophet, which first published in United States in 1923 and has since become one of the best-selling books of all time, having been translated into more than 100 languages. And Leslie Hanamina was a Syrian novelist described in literature from Axis of Evil as the country's most prominent. And that ends my report. Thank you so much.